but it sounds like most of it's moved on. So we'll get an update from Cutter here in a few minutes with an update on what we can expect out there. But the big story tonight, and we've had team coverage on it all day long, surrounds the Fulton County Jail and an investigation that came out today. And tonight, leaders are saying they're going to fix the problems. These are problems that plaguing the Fulton County Jail after a scathing report came out from federal investigators alleging unconstitutional practices inside the facility in West Midtown. The results, this comes from a 16-month-long investigation by the U.S. Justice Department, and the allegations in this report are serious, alleging jail officials in Fulton County failed to protect inmates from violence, and that these also included hazardous conditions and pests. So this is something we've been working on all day, all afternoon since this broke here in Atlanta, and our Anna Murphy is here to break down a little bit of what this investigation detailed.
We cannot turn a blind eye to the inhumane, violent, and hazardous conditions that people are subjected to inside the Fulton County Jail.
In a stunning news briefing at the Federal Building in downtown Atlanta on Thursday, U.S. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Kristen Clark released a scathing report about atrocious conditions inside the Fulton County Jail.
We find that the Fulton County Jail does not adequately protect incarcerated people from violence, such as stabbing, sexual abuse, or even murder.
The Justice Department launched an investigation into conditions at the jail in July of last year, following the death of LaShawn Thompson, who was found dead in his cell infested with lice.
Housing units are flooded from broken toilets. Roaches, rodents, and pests abound. Standing water, exposed wiring, and vermin make living areas unsafe. The jail does not provide enough food, leaving people severely malnourished.
Following an extensive investigation, the Justice Department concluded that Fulton County and the Sheriff's Office routinely violated the rights of people incarcerated in the jail.
Pests carrying bacteria and disease not only run rampant in food preparation areas, but have infested the bodies of the people in the jail, people like LaShawn Thompson.
According to Justice Department officials, Fulton County has pledged to cooperate with improving staffing, security, and housing at the jail to prevent further casualties and chaos.
In 2023 alone, we identified 314 stabbings and more than 1,000 assaults. This rate of violence exceeds what we've seen in other cities across the country. The Fulton County Jail had as many stabbings in a single month as the Miami-Dade County Jail had all year.
That report from Adam Murphy breaking down some of what was in this federal investigation that came from the Department of Justice here today, and as this unfolded, and much of the allegations comes from investigators there, and then as that unfolded, we heard from Sheriff Pat Labatt and Chairman Rob Pitts with Fulton County as they addressed these allegations and where does this stand? And certainly another side to this. They said today that they've been expecting this report to come out and believe they've come a long way from many of the complaints listed on this. They said this is pretty much a snapshot in time, and that since this investigation has been unfolding, they have made some changes. And here's a little bit of what the sheriff had to say earlier.
Also said, and it was also pointed out very, very poignantly, these are fixable opportunities. And so that's what our plan is as we get ready to move forward, is to be able to fix each one of these opportunities and move forward.
The sheriff also said earlier today that many inmates, he remembers a time when many inmates were sleeping on the floor there at the facility when he first came into office, and he agrees there's still more work to be done, and says they're constantly training to make the jail safer. Now, it's interesting, we saw the county chairman, Rob Pitts, there today talking with Sheriff Pat Labatt, and if you'll recall, there's been some reporting here recently where the two sides have been back and forth over budget concerns, and the sheriff wanting a new facility, wanting more money from the county, but today they are on the same page with how they responded to this federal investigation, saying that they knew this was coming, and they agree with some of it, and they agree with that more work needs to be done. So we have a team of reporters still working on this tonight, talking with families of former inmates, one-time inmates, and those impacted directly. Our Madeline Montgomery has also been putting together more of what came out of this investigation today. So we will have team coverage for you coming up tonight on our newscast that aired tonight here at 10 and 11. Now we are going to shift gears, and I'm bringing over meteorologist Cutter Martin and talk a little bit about what's happening outside, because I woke up this morning and I knew the rain was coming.
Yeah.
You guys have been telling us all about it.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be chilly out there, but walking outside with the kids trying to get everybody to the school today, it was.
Little grizzly.
They said, how'd you know it was going to rain? I said, well, I'm not a meteorologist, but I work up with a ton of them, and
Yeah.
they said it was coming. So it was quite a day. I still can't get over this. We haven't seen this kind of rain
It's
in
kinda
such a long
nice, though,
time.
Like a little
Sorry, let me
call it
kind of switch you over a little bit.
Harry Potter weather, like little gloom. A little gloomy.
I
days
know.
nice
We look at
every
the,
now and then.
I like it. I actually love rain and storms, and I love being at home. I love nothing more than being at home and just kind of having a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and soaking
You know,
it in.
if this was a weekend, it'd be a good day to cook, have a glass of
Soup.
wine. Yeah, that kind
All
of
of
thing.
it.
Absolutely. And we have some sunshine
good to have
in
you
the
here.
forecast. Yeah, as we head into the weekend, again, we have nice stuff on the way. But we have to get through the rest of this evening. It is going to continue to be a little bit gloomy out there, so just keep that in mind. We are not tracking much in the way of heavy rain or anything like that, but we are going to continue to have the gloomy condition, the drizzle, that sort of stuff in the first alert forecast as we get deeper into the evening. We will gradually clear out, but it is going to take some time. Again, thanks for bearing with us here. We're going to shift our cameras around, pull up our weather graphics, and then we will be good and ready to go for the full duration of the first alert forecast. And while we're loading this up, let's go ahead and take you outside right now. You can see Midtown and downtown Atlanta. However, it's certainly not clear. These clouds have been very stubborn. It is really taking its sweet time, this kind of gloomy condition from filtering out of the first alert forecast. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. Reminder, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, one place we can chat is on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns. And, technically you don't even have to like and follow. You can just join this particular stream and comment away. Doesn't look like we have any comments yet, but I will be watching that. Also, you can text us, 470-777 WANF, that's 470-777-9263. You can text us, and I'll monitor that chat thread as well. And even after, the duration of this live stream is over, I'm going to continue to kind of go back and check, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But as Blair mentioned, it's been gloomy all day. Certainly that has been the case. It was drizzly earlier. In fact, we had some actual rain that he was talking about, contending with on the way to get his kiddos to the bus stop and on their way to the school. On the way to school this morning. So it wasn't the most pleasant of mornings. You probably had to adjust your plans a little bit. Maybe instead of making your chillins wait at the bus stop, they're going to be taking the car ride in. And then this afternoon, it looked gloomy, but all we had was a spritz or two, a little bit of drizzle as far as the afternoon commute, and the drive home was concerned. Hour by hour forecast. Again, I've edited the forecast here a little bit now, keeping the gloom in through about midnight. I think wee hours of tomorrow morning, we will start to see some improvement. And with any luck, we're going to wake up to a little bit of sunshine tomorrow, though I would not be too surprised if there was some low cloud cover lingering, maybe some patchy fog, and at least a couple of spots. So do keep that in mind. But the sure bet here is that after we wake up to temperatures in the mid to upper 40s in the metro, low to mid 40s further outlying, maybe upper 30s to near 40 are mountain peaks. With possibly a little bit of gloom still lingering, we will break out into full sunshine. In fact, tomorrow is shaping up to be an absolutely stunning day across North Georgia and metro Atlanta. Sunshine has us up to 60 by noon. That's warmer than it was this afternoon. We hovered in the mid-50s in Atlanta all day. Some of us stayed in the 40s. About the only places to reach 60 or warmer, LaGrange, also Randolph County and Cleburne County in Alabama. So full sunshine, kind of ruling the roost there tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures peaking in the low to mid 60s kind of as an average. That is technically average, 65 for the city of Atlanta, and we're going 65 for our forecast high temperature. Upper 60s in Eatonton, 66 in Thomaston, the same in LaGrange, upper 50s Ellijay. So it's going to be a nice day tomorrow, but also one of those weird days where, if you're in the sun, mid to upper 60s can feel warm. If you're in the shade with a light breeze, 60s can feel kind of chilly, like jacket worthy. So I do think that tomorrow kind of one of those funny days where everyone needs the jackets in the morning. Really just depends on what you're doing, where you are. As we get into the afternoon hours, typically the warmest temperature of the day, happening around 3:30 in the afternoon or so this time of year. Heading into the weekend, again, hour by hour forecast. We're going to kick it off tonight. We're going to lose the low clouds and the fog during the day tomorrow. Sunshine rolling the roost. However, we're going to let you know Friday night into Saturday morning as we officially get into the weekend, we probably will see some dense fog develop. This particular forecast model wants to keep the lowest of visibility off in extreme northwest Georgia, Chattooga County, the Floyd County area, Rome, up to Dalton, I-75 corridor, really from Dalton, kind of Calhoun through Dalton up to Chattanooga. Could be some lower visibility as well. And then as soon as we get past, the coolest point of the morning, we will remove fog from the forecast. Sunshine once again, plentiful on our Saturday. Here is that weekend breakdown. Again, it's never too early to think about the weekend, but especially on a Thursday night. Certainly many of us are thinking about the weekend, though today's my Tuesday, so still have a ways off, but it's going to be a gorgeous one to get outside. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s Saturday, so a couple degrees warmer than Friday. And then that trend continues into our Sunday. Sunday, a couple degrees warmer than Saturday. Again, patchy morning fog, pleasant afternoon, lots of sunshine. Back in the first alert forecast, that is technically warmer than average for this time of year, but do want to talk about the 7-day forecast because we do have the return of not only rain chances, but also some much, much chillier, colder, in fact, weather ahead. Do want to go ahead, though, and bring your attention to Tropical Storm Sarah first. Some of this tropical moisture could get caught up in the next front, so that's why I want to, bring some attention to this. As we look at the forecast track, again, forecast to between now and Monday only slowly move along the coastline of Honduras, likely making landfall in Belize. And then emerging in the Gulf of Mexico as we get into next Monday is like a remnant system or remnant circulation, unlikely to even be a tropical depression still by that point. And then the next map, around the same time, as we get into the middle of next week, we have that system, what is left of it down in the southern Gulf of Mexico, and we're going to have a strong front moving in. Rain is likely ahead of the front in some capacity, way, shape, or form across the southeast. Much chillier weather. We're certain that that's going to filter in behind it, but the details, how chilly does it get? How long does the chilly air last? How much rain do we get ahead of the front? All still a little bit TBD. So do want to just, bring out the 7-day forecast here. Some of this moisture could get caught up in this front, though I think the boost in the heavy rain risk would likely be across South Georgia and the state of Florida. Even if it's not a tropical system still, that influx of tropical moisture could help boost rainfall totals Tuesday. Really late day into early Wednesday morning, possibly another skinny line of showers moving through with the front itself Thursday. And notice that drop, upper 60s Tuesday, Wednesday, lower 60s Thursday afternoon. Some forecast models are chillier than that for Thursday, and that's kind of front day number one itself. And typically, the chilly air takes a day or two to filter in. So it's possible we could have to adjust that Thursday temperature staying in the 50s, and then some data has it staying in the 40s and 50s. All afternoon long. So that's the high temperature, 40s, 50s, for Friday, possibly lingering into the coming weekend. So certainly something to watch. Days and days away, but we're here, of course, to give you the first alert, right down to a first alert weather days. If it trends any wetter Tuesday, as confidence grows in the forecast. And the main thing we're watching out for here is it's very possible, not like this most recent rain event last night and this morning, but like the one before that, where the majority of the rain remained south and east of the city of Atlanta. That's a possibility, but as we get more confidence in the forecast, as the picture becomes a bit clearer, we may boost that rain chance. And, of course, if it looks like your day is going to be impacted, we will put on that first alert weather day. The front itself moving through late Wednesday, Thursday, looking a little bit drier. But still, a few showers possible, a little bit of rain, and then the big story is much chillier weather filtering in behind it in the first alert forecast. Want to remind you, you can look beyond the next 7 days, next 10 days, at any time, on the go, no matter where you're watching from, streaming from in this case, at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the First Alert Weather app. And you can see that forecast, even for the city of Atlanta, temperatures struggling into the 50s as we get into next Friday, Saturday, possibly lingering into Sunday. But in the meantime, stunning weekend ahead. Chilly mornings, cool afternoons. By Sunday, kind of mild, kind of on that mild, cool border there with lots of sunshine in the first alert forecast. Really is shaping up to be an absolutely stunning late November weekend across North Georgia with lots of sun. Get outside and please do enjoy it. We'll keep you updated on the forecast. I want to remind you, First Alert meteorologist Patrick Pete is back in the house here for Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. That will be starting at 10 p.m. Again, you can stream it anywhere you are streaming this particular stream. And then he will also have the late news tonight, Atlanta News First on WANF starting at 11 p.m. He'll also have an updated forecast in the First Alert weather app shortly. We'll keep you updated. Have yourself a wonderful evening. I promise the gloom is gone tomorrow. But in the meantime, it's sticking around this evening. You will want a jacket, walking the dog, any late evening plans that you may have. Have a good evening.